Rucker Man.
And we are live. Sbtalksports Sean Webb, real takes over fake debates. Happy Friday. Salute, everybody. What's going on, Sean? How are you feeling?
Man, feeling good, man. Got this NBA triple header on tonight, second and third round of the NFL draft. So we got a lot to get into tonight. But man, how you doing? I know it's birthday weekend. Happy early return to you. So
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little tired. I might have to go to swiftenergy.com and use code RTOFD to get 20% off my order. I'm a little tired. I need a little bit more energy. I'm tired of running around doing everything for my birthday. But also, if you guys are tired just like me, because we still got to watch these playoff games, you got to watch RTOFD. Use code RTOFD to go to swiftenergy.com. No, man, it's everything's good so far. So far so good. NFL draft was excellent. Shout out everybody who watched the draft with us at RTOD. Shout out to people who are new subscribers to the channel on all platforms. I love the support that everybody did from every other platform. We're going to keep going. If you like stuff like that for us doing that, let us know. We can make it happen any other time. So let us know, and let us know how you feel. Speaking of the NFL draft, like you said, let's go to the chat though first. Let's go to the chat. Your Blue Ball said, I wouldn't go as far as say he's ended his career at all, but he has been subpar since. He's talking about the title. The title of the show is Nikola Jokic has ended the career of LeBron James and NFL draft recap, winners and losers. But we could get into that later. Why? Tiffany says, salute, Sean. We tried to tell these delusional Lakers fans, everybody hit that like button. Yeah, they don't want to listen. Salute, go James. Salute. Adam John said, happy late birthday. Now, my birthday's Sunday. Happy early birthday. Happy early birthday. Oh, man, it's crazy. Sunday. But we got to go ahead and get into the show, guys. I appreciate you guys always coming to support. NFL draft recap. Sean, overall draft in general, what can you say about the draft? Was it pretty good? Did you like it? Everything, what's up? How was your draft?
Yeah, I'll say this. Obviously we were on last night, and again, salute to everybody who joined us last night for the draft live reaction, live stream. It was a lot of fun doing it. Yeah. Turned to a little inside the NBA, got some jokes off, but it is what it is. But no, in all seriousness,
got a couple in. I
know. No, listen, it was a great first round. I think most of the teams, addressed their needs.
Yes.
I think there were a few reaches, obviously, as there tends to be in the draft.
Yes.
When you just kind of looked at, some of the other people on the board or whatever. But for the most part, I thought every team did a good job of addressing their needs. And obviously it starts at the top of the draft with the Bears. And, and at the end of the day, the Bears got what they deemed to be and what most people deem to be a generational talent, but they supported him later on by getting Rome Odunze. And again, having that young quarterback wide receiver duo kind of grow and come into their own together. We see it all the time, right? You think about, Montana to Rice, and duos like that, Peyton to Marvin Harrison, so, I'm not saying that's what they'll be, but, in today's NFL, you really do need that quarterback wide receiver duo at minimum. So,
yeah, I was shocked that they was even to get. We're gonna talk about that, Rome Odunze. I was even shocked because also was another shocker that happened during the draft with the Michael Penix, which is gonna talk about later. But for me, with my draft experience, I think everything went according to plan, and then once the Michael Penix thing happened, everything started going a little bit crazier. I was still more shocked of what I was saying, to the point that I don't know if I've seen the draft where the first 14, 15 pictures are all offensive players. Like, I'm gonna go, like I said, I'm gonna go back to do our research. We gonna have this talk maybe on Monday. We can do this segment of this on Monday. But I don't really recall off top of the head where I can just see a draft for like the first 14 to 15 players, all offensive players. So that was one that was a big shocker to me. Biggest winners and losers. Everything at the end of the day, Sean, it's sports. It's always going to be winners. It's always going to be losers. When you look at this situation of who was the winners, losers, how do I say it? Mike to the Falcons is crazy. Kirk better watch himself. That's true. Kirk got caught off guard by the Falcons draft. He'll be all right though, Adam. He got 100 million. He got 100 million reasons to be okay. You in a new situation. You ain't set no foundation in Atlanta. They really don't tell you nothing. But it comes to the game of sports. There's always winners and losers of each situation. So day one, and we looking back at the draft, and any pick you want to go to, like I said, in our draft special, we got every pick still here, ready to go on deck. But everything has winners and losers, Sean. Who is your biggest winner? You gotta give me one, and who is your biggest loser of the draft?
Oh, I mean, the easy answer for the biggest winner for me is obviously Chicago.
Yes.
I would say obviously Chicago. If we're just talking about teams, but if we want to talk about the individual biggest winner, it's Michael Penix, without question for me. And the biggest loser are the Denver Broncos, and and all the capping I heard about.
Wait till we get on that segment. What I heard,
it was a whole lot of cap.
Whole lot of cap.
I'm like, anyway, you
got to support the pitch, man. You got to make it sound good. You got to make that Hyundai look like a BMW.
Yeah, I mean, listen, again, at the end of the day, you can say a Chrysler 300 look like a Phantom. It's still a Chrysler 300 at the end of the day. So that's literally what they're doing. They try to make that Chrysler 300 look like a Phantom. And it's not.
It's not. But the crazy part about it is, from a distance, it looks like a Phantom until you get up. Get up to. Biggest. I'm gonna go a different direction because I definitely feel like the Broncos is the biggest losers, but I'm gonna go in a different direction. Biggest winners for me is the Kansas City Chiefs. To get one of the fastest receivers and Xavier Worthy that low at that point in time when a lot of the teams could have used a receiver that I thought maybe he would have probably not went. I think the Chiefs is a big winner because it's like, okay, what was the biggest problem that the Chiefs really had last year was mediocre wide receiver play.
Right.
And what's one thing that he'd been missing, which I think was a good thing for Patrick Mahomes' career because he actually stopped trying to go for the home run plays and just play football a little bit better more. But they've been missing that home run play guy. And I think because people forget, Tyreek Hill started off as a special teams guy. Tyreek Hill didn't just come, shocker to everybody. I hope you didn't think Tyreek Hill just came in day one and was just Tyreek Hill. No. He started on special teams first and earned his way up. I think they could do the same thing with Xavier Worthy. I think that was great.
And I know a lot of people were talking about, that the Chiefs are going to turn him into the next Tyreek Hill. No, the Chiefs are going to make him the best Xavier Worthy that he can be.
There you go.
There's only one Tyreek, at the end of the day, because, ain't too many receivers out here with 10 kids. So, but that's neither here nor there. Bees, man. Good to see Bees, man. Ain't seen Bees.
Oh, Bees in the chat. Let's go, Bees. How you doing, brother?
Yeah.
Salute, Bees.
No, I do think obviously, he was a great pick for them.
Football, we got you at the end. We doing football first, but we got you. We gonna cook on that. We gonna cook.
Yeah. And also, I think again, it's just proof that they're not satisfied. Right. They understand they won the Super Bowl, but they were going to be aggressive in the draft to get up and get somebody they really wanted. And they were. And obviously, we think he can come in and he can have, I don't think he's a star from day one. He's going to bring him along slowly. But again, the idea with the guy like that is you find unique ways. And, Andy Reid will find unique ways to get the ball in his hands.
Only problem is, though, Sean, I think he's going to be one of the first players that get thrown into the water, and let's see if you can swim because of the right situation going on. The other dum-dum who always can't catch it. I ain't going to say dum-dum, nub-nubs. I'm the Mr. Nub-nubs over them can't catch a pass. So I feel like they're going to put him in a position where, hey, look, we're going to need you to make some plays, though.
Yeah.
So biggest losers, obviously, everybody, you see my reaction during the stream. It was definitely Bo Nix. I got that clip coming too. I'm going to drop that clip later today. I think Bo Nix, but I'm going to go a different direction. I'm going to say the Las Vegas Raiders. I think Brock Bowers is great, 100% great. Mm-hmm. And I think he will do good with the Raiders. And I think it's going to be a nightmare for us to see him. But who going to give him the ball?
Right.
I think it's that bad with the Raiders where I feel like you should have addressed that problem. And this was we just took the best available player pick, which I'm not mad at. So is we just going to have a down year? That's my only problem I say with the Raiders, to not get a quarterback or something, or try to push to move up to get one of the quarterbacks. But I maybe thought they was going to move up to get J.J. McCarthy. And or move up, because I 100% say avoid the Bo Nix situation. 100% avoid the Bo Nix. But also winner as a player, it is JJ. I think JJ McCarthy as a player, you go into the best situation. When you go as a quarterback, you go into a situation where you got the best wide receiver in the league, you in a good situation as a player. So that's going to be great for him, for sure. So that's my biggest winners and losers. As soon as the chat, how do I wait? He said, "Yo, Bo Nix is another crazy pick, but I understand the team need." Nah, what is crazy about this Bo Nix? First of all, Bo Nix been in school longer than people made jokes about Caitlin Clark. Go see how long Bo Nix been in school. Bo Nix been in school for a minute. I think I was still in college and Bo Nix was still in college. And what he in college when Cam Newton was in college? Nah, I ain't gonna even go. I ain't gonna even go that far. I'm joking a little bit, but I mean, it could be. He been in that long. He was there when Johnny Manziel was in college,
He was there for a while.
I know he was there when Trevor Lawrence was in college. Justin Herbert, Justin Herbert just got his contract, and he was in college with Justin. I'm just saying, the man been in school a long time. But let's go ahead and get into the crazy things of the draft. So obviously, it's another Michael, left-hand quarterback, back in Atlanta. If you see the meme yesterday, black guy, you go back and look at the meme for the show. The Falcons shocked everybody by taking Michael Penix Jr. Was I shocked, Sean? Yes. But when I actually sat down, like I said, we had to let it marinate. After I actually sat down and kind of thought about it, like what else really was they going to go grab? And then also, yes, you pay Kirk Cousins $100-something million, $184 million, guaranteed $100. He's coming off of an Achilles injury. We don't know. You don't know if he gonna hold up. This was a safety valve for the future and a safety net for today for this year. Because looking at the Falcons mindset, I just seen a team that just got an old quarterback last year, got hurt on the first drive of the year. They got stuck with their old quarterback of last year. They know they don't want Desmond Ridder. They do not want him to see the field again.
He's gone. He's in Arizona.
So who's their backup there? He did go to Arizona. Who's their backup?
They didn't have one.
Okay, so that make my point even better, because I still thought Desmond Ridder was still there, but I forgot they did get rid of him earlier during that time. They have no backup. You don't 100% know Kirk Cousins is going to bounce right back. You don't know if he get hit one time, re-aggravate the leg. Anything is possible. This was a great safety net pick, and to get Michael Penix when a lot of us thought he was going to kind of go from looking at the draft board that we had. I could have thought the Giants could have took him, not the Titans. You could have had the Vikings move up. You could have had the Broncos move up to get him. Had the Raiders move up to get him. So it's like, I like the move at the end of the day. And it also doesn't put any pressure on him to come in day one and be this whole great quarterback or entity that, like, okay, day one, you got to ball out, because we've been having this bad quarterback play from Desmond Ridder.
So I agree. So I agree with you, SB. But I'm a big believer when you build teams, you build what I like to call timeline teams.
Yes.
And what I mean by timeline teams is that your core guys are all around the same age.
Yes.
Right. So you think about the early 2010s Oklahoma City Thunder. All of those guys were around the same age, right? They were able to grow together, and they went on a run. And obviously we know things ended after 2016, but they had all together about a 7-year run with that timeline team.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Penix Jr. is the same age as Kyle Pitts.
Yes.
Kyle Pitts is 23. Michael Penix is 23. Bijan Robinson is 22.
Mm-hmm.
Drake London is 22. To me, what the Falcons basically showed everybody was, hey, this is our team. This is our timeline team. And these are the 4 guys who are going to lead us for the next 5, 7, 8 years. You know? So that to me is why I like the Penix move better. And also, again, people that were flaming them, you're only flaming them because they gave Kirk Cousins $100 million.
Yeah,
right.
Because they didn't have Kirk Cousins, they would feel like this has been an A+ pick.
Right, exactly.
Been an A+ pick.
And at the end of the day, again, what did you say last night? There's no better pure thrower of the football in this draft than Michael Penix.
He got dotted.
Yes, and to be very honest with you, if it weren't for the injuries concerns that he had in college, because I know he had some major injuries in college, in my opinion,
three major injuries.
Yeah, 3 major injuries. But he proved that those injuries did not affect how he played the last 2 years. Without question. He came back, he balled out. I think what it showed was, in my opinion, after Caleb Williams, without the injuries, he's the best quarterback in this draft. Without injuries. Nothing against Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels is a dog, though.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels is a dog. But again,
a dog, though.
I saw Jaden Daniels at Arizona State. So I understand why there are some people who might have been concerned about Jaden Daniels coming off that 1 year. And again, a little similar to the Joe Burrow thing, but that's another conversation. But with Michael Penix, again, at the end of the day, we know Michael Penix is a very good quarterback.
Yes.
And he is going to a very good situation. And and again, to your point, if Kirk Cousins gets hurt or is unable to perform, they feel like they got a guy that can come in and do that, even as a rookie.
Even as a rookie,
And so, so I think it was a very smart move. It was a we don't care what you think move. We're doing what we think is in the best interest of the football team. We don't care what Kirk Cousins think, because we're gonna do what's in the best interest of the football team.
They didn't even care what the owner think, because he came down there. What's going on? Hey, look, you paid me to do this job. Let me do my job.
And to be very clear, Arthur Blank is pretty involved. I don't think they make this move. They do this without Arthur Blank saying, "Let's do it." And I want to also say, let me just also talk about another factor too, because I was in Atlanta for many years, lived in Atlanta for many years. The dome in Atlanta was never jumping more when number 7 was the quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons.
More than Matty Ice?
Oh, not even close.
I don't know. Matty Ice did.
No, Matty Ice played great ball. I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you the atmosphere at the Dome. The old Georgia Dome. Not where they at now. The old Georgia Dome.
Yeah, for sure.
That Joker was jumping. Jumping. And I'm not saying Penix can be and Penix will be Michael Vick, because they're not the exact same quarterback. No. But you think them folks in that ATL won't have that dome jumping when Michael Penix is on the field, throwing that thing all over the place, and Bijan doing his thing, and man, come on, man.
It'll be rocking. It'll be rocking.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna deny that.
So I think it's a great marketing move on their part, because I know a lot of Falcons fans who weren't overly crazy about the Kirk Cousins signing.
No, they wasn't.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, if I were a Falcons fan, obviously I'm not, I would be excited about this team's future the future of this offense. And as long as Raheem can build a competent defense and they can keep those 4 guys together and healthy, that Falcons team is going to be something to deal with here in the next couple of years. Mark my words.
Yeah, I can see that. Future-wise, I think they're in good hands. And I think if Kirk Cousins actually sit back, if Penix also listen and teach him some of the games, some of the ways of the NFL quarterback, also the way to get paid. Because Kirk Cousins, hey, look, you want to know how to get paid? Go talk to Kirk Cousins. You going to get paid. Yeah. But also he can teach him. Because I feel like you said Michael Penix and Kirk Cousins' style of play is somewhat in the same realm where they can learn off each other, learn off Kirk Cousins a little bit, know how to be a vet. But let's go into another realm of a team in a division where we can say this is a positive move, but this next move was more like this, Sean.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
Which Sean Payton didn't. Drafting Bo Nix with the number 12 pick. Sean Payton says he's thrilled. Obviously, quarterback is a need, so I understand position-wise. Skill set-wise, I don't know. And this is why what I heard, this is why I played this song.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
This man said, Sean Payton, that's what I said, I don't know what's going on. He took that break. He said he's thrilled for Bo Nix. He sees similarity of Patrick Mahomes. Also, he picked him because he's going to be the next Drew Brees, or he's Drew Brees' skill set like. What are we doing, Sean? What if I'm wrong? If I'm wrong in any chat, IG, Kick, TikTok, YouTube, what in the HELL has Bo Nix done to look like Patrick Mahomes or Drew Brees? I will wait. Please tell me. The man is a super duper triple senior. And he just got drafted. Sean, if I'm wrong, what if is this something that you seen that he do that's like Patrick Mahomes or Drew Brees? Tell me, the floor is yours. Maybe I'm wrong.
In the illustrious words of Chris Tucker and Friday, not a damn thing.
Not a damn. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, yeah, Sean Payton.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I'm gonna tell you this, and you know, and if we just being real, I saw this guy at Auburn for years. He was terrible. He was terrible, and that's me being nice. And if it wasn't because his last name was Nix and because of who his dad was, I think you'd have been gone from Auburn a long time ago. Matter of fact, I'm not even sure he gets to Auburn because he was terrible. Now, I'm not saying Auburn was the greatest situation in the world. Let me be very clear about that.
Yeah, I understand that.
But I understand also when guys go to Oregon and what Oregon has traditionally done with quarterbacks is they put up great numbers, they put up great stats.
Mm-hmm.
But this Patrick Mahomes, like I think he meant Jackson Mahomes.
You gotta be
real. You know, Drew Brees.
Breeze.
Yeah. Like, come on, man. Like, we're not even like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
It's not
and again, I understand part of it is you got to sell the hype, right? It's the nature. You got to sell the hype. You got to say, hey, this guy is that. This guy is not that. And again, I'm, you know, and it's layered with the fact that, and I preface this by saying I was never the biggest Russell Wilson fan. I always felt Russell Wilson was a little overrated. I understand. I've said many times, I understand what Russell Wilson does exceptionally, but I also know what Russell Wilson is not very good at.
I fell into the trap. Shout out. I always tip my head to Bees on that one because he's like, and I just like, you know what? I'm actually going to pay attention a little bit now. You know, you just, Russell Wilson, you give him credit like everybody else doing. And like Bees exposed, like, bro, I'm in Seattle. I watch this dude every day. Watch what he do this, and this. If he ain't doing this, it ain't going to be good. And I was like, okay, you know what? That whole year I watched it, I was like, I give Bees credit. Shout out Bees too in the chat. He was right on that.
And if we're being real, I don't think the Seahawks were crying any tears when they traded him.
No, they wasn't.
So let's put that as a part of the equation as well. That said, you go from Russell Wilson, who had a decent year last year. You had a decent year. He had a decent year last year. Mm-hmm. But you say, you know what? we're gonna take this $85 million cap hit over 2 seasons, and our answer is Bo Nix.
Yeah, that's not moving me at all. And true, I 100% agree. You can believe in Bo Nix without Cap or Sean Payton. That's my point too, because now you throwing this dude in the fire because it ain't guaranteed that he gonna start over Zach Wilson. Shout out Sneaker King too.
Well, I think their start is Jarrett Stidham.
And I'm going to say Jarrett Stidham too. So it's like, give him a chance. Now, Sean Payton has done great things with a quarterback before. Drew Brees, I like Drew Brees. Drew Brees had the charge, injury prone, shipped him off. Everybody doubted him. He went to the next level. Could he make Bo Nix into a great quarterback? It's a possibility. But we not finna sit here and say he has similarities of Patrick Mahomes in college. And you're lying. You're not telling the truth. He's not no similarities of Drew Brees. You're lying. You're not telling the truth at all. At all. It's nothing. Even the game, remember, I watched that game vividly when they played Colorado and they just dismantled Colorado, and it was just like because they wasn't on the level of the team. I still wasn't impressed with Bo Nix in that game. And that was an easy game. I wasn't impressed with him. So we can't do that. But I'm not doubting the kid. Can the kid? He's going to. I believe in Sean Payton. He's been a little bit off, but he has been in that situation where he could get a quarterback to the next level for sure.
I'll just say this, right? The Broncos and the Giants are competing for the worst quarterback rooms in the NFL.
Yes,
they're by far competing for that, and I don't think there's a worse quarterback room than the Broncos right now. You know, and again, I don't know if Sean Payton survives this. I know they paid him a lot of money, $75 million over 5 years guaranteed.
Yeah,
but this is bad. This is like really bad. Yeah. So, you know, and again, it's a position of need because they didn't really have the capacity to address it in free agency because of the cap situation. But ultimately, you know, it's a very, very, oh my gosh, it's a very, very bad situation. And
wow.
Yeah.
Chris Middleton hit that?
Yeah, he hit that. It's his second one, hitting one late.
Wow.
Yeah, he hit one to send it to overtime. But anyway, so if I'm a Broncos fan, there's nothing about yesterday that's getting me excited.
Nothing.
At all. Nothing. Not a thing.
Not a thing, no.
And to me, I think they're going to be the worst team in that division, without question, because I know you questioned about the Raiders quarterback situation. I saw enough from Aiden O'Connell last season where I'm like, okay, I think he's earned the right going into this season to be the starter. Do I think he's their long-term quarterback? I don't know. But I know he did enough last season to earn the right to be their guy going into this season.
And then if it's a down year for the Raiders, it's another quarterback class is coming in next season too. So you'll get the same situation that's going on. Chris Middleton got 42 cooking right now.
Yeah, he's cooking
right now. I'm going to say next on to the next story, but with this last play they go to the 6 seconds, we can pause and see what will happen on this last play. But another team we got to talk about is the Chicago Bears. Hold on, wait, let's see. 6 seconds going into this last play in overtime. It's going to get double overtime. And now let me see. Turn it. Wait, my volume level.
Amazing.
This has been a good series so far, too, though, Sean. I want to say this, though. Pacers should have won this game, though. They was up.
Pacers was up huge.
They shot themselves out the game.
They shot themselves out the game. They were hitting a lot of shots crazy. But I think they did, you know, kind of shoot themselves out of the game. And got to give Milwaukee credit for fighting back.
Yeah, no, you got to give them credit for that. Okay. 6 seconds on the clock, y'all. Let's see what they do. Was you getting a good play or not? Okay. Tyrese Halliburton get to the top. Oh, why did he bring the ball that far back? Whoa, that is terrible. Okay.
Yeah, killing clock.
Oh, okay, Halliburton. Okay.
You got to hit this. You got to hit this though.
This is still a deal right here. Tyrese Halliburton. Let's
go. It's only 3. They still got 1.6. And you still got.
I got a timeout.
Yeah, you still got Damian Middleton.
I didn't like that part of the play though with the throw it all the way down court. But you go knock it down and run the clock out. Hey, I ain't gonna take a play.
Yeah. Oh, Loki's at the game.
Loki. Ha ha ha! It popped on my screen late, but you crazy. You crazy. Oh man, he said Loki at the game is crazy. 17 triple-double. Shout out to the young kid. 4th triple-double in Indiana playoff history. I think one of them got to be Paul George. One of them got to be Reggie Miller, right?
No, probably not. Yeah, no, not Reggie.
Paul George for sure.
I would say probably Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson could be definitely one of them.
Yeah. I'm going to look it up in a second, but yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll go back when the timeout over. We'll come back to that. But okay, on back to the show. Chicago Bears go all in on the offense draft for Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze. Ryan Poles was happy. He said in an interview, he was like, man, how shocked were you that question, the interviewer asked him, man, how shocked were you that the Falcons took Michael Penix? He was like, yeah, I was shocked, but shout out to them though. I got a receiver. That's what he wanted. So you ended up getting a top 3 receiver because obviously the main 3 receivers everybody's talking about was Harris, Odunze, and why is the other one just scraping my name right now?
Neighbors.
There you go. Neighbors. Who went to the Giants? Good luck to that young man over there. And good luck to that young man over there. But I like what the Bears did. They definitely won their draft. In the first round they solidified what they needed to do. I think for the rest of the draft, for me, they need to go offensive line and offense. Hold on, we're coming back into the game. One more second. Pause it in the mission one more time. One more second on the clock. You go Dame here or the hot hand Chris Middleton?
Middleton.
Let's see. Okay. Middleton on the fade. No good. Pacers win. Tyrese Halliburton gets it done. Pacers win. Good win in overtime, but if I'm Rick Carlisle, I'm not happy. I'm not happy. We had a solidified lead. We missing a lot of open shots. We was rushing our offense a little bit too, but we had the lead. I think the Bucks had kind of got a little bit more physical late in the game, and they started punking the Pacers a little bit for me. So if I'm Rick Carlisle, you will take the dub, but I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all. I'm not happy. This game should not have been in overtime. Pacers should have won this game easily. But as a fan, great game of basketball. What about you? What's your analysis of the game, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you take games like this from a coaching perspective, and you say, listen, you're happy for the win, but when you're in film session tomorrow, more than likely you're gonna go and spend a lot of time focused on some of the mistakes and the miscues in the second half, especially, and and you gotta have to just preach, you got to finish. We got to finish, and so. They were able to pull this one out, but this Milwaukee team is desperate. They got to get one in Indiana to get the home court back. So, you got to take the win, but you got to get ready for game 4, obviously, because it's right around the corner.
All right. Now, back to the regular schedule program. Now, Sean, your take on the Bears situation.
Yeah, again, I thought the Bears as a team were the biggest draft winners. Obviously, you get Caleb, you get Rome Odunze, and now it's going to come down to, again, the infrastructure to develop Caleb, to develop Rome, make sure that Rome is coming to a good situation with obviously a veteran receiver, Keenan Allen, and obviously a young veteran in DJ Moore. So he's not going to be the pressure on him to come in and deliver, from day one. But, he's going to come in and got to put in work and hopefully get some reps with that first team offense, which I likely think he will.
Yes.
And then also, Caleb Williams is wearing number 18.
High school number.
Yeah, which is an interesting choice. It's an ugly number. But
Peyton made it cool. Peyton made it cool a little
I
bit.
guess. I
Peyton
guess.
made it cool.
But no, in all seriousness, no, but no, I mean, and the fact that his gear and his jerseys, sold the way they have the first, couple days, tells you, people are excited, ready for it, and we'll see.
Yeah, and the one thing with Chicago, I ain't gonna lie, like they supported Fields. The one thing I will say, living in Chicago, and I understand, like I'm supporting the Bears. I can say I'm a diehard Bears fan, but once they behind you in Chicago, they gonna rock with you. Ain't gonna be nothing said bad about you. If Caleb Williams come in, throw for 4,000 yards, and if he do the impossible of winning a Super Bowl in Chicago, he gonna be eating for free at every restaurant. He gonna walk on water out here. I'm trying to tell you, Chicago. That's all. Like when you send me that, say his merch sold as much as it did, I'm not shocked.
Yeah,
I'm not shocked at all. I am not shocked. So shout out Caleb and the Bears. This has been a great offseason. Ryan Poles, he had to lock in and do what he needed to do. I know a lot of Bears fans was iffy when he was getting rid of a lot of certain players, but when you take over an organization, you got to put your stamp on it. Yeah. And I even told my boy this, who's a diehard Bears fan. I said, once I seen Roquan Smith leave, I said, everybody's gone. He's cleaning the house. Everybody's gone. Roquan Smith was at point by far the best middle linebacker in the league or in the conversation. And they traded him, and he was dominating. So it's just like about setting your stamp and standard on your team and what you want done with your program.
Right.
But like you said, we talk about the Bears situation. We go best. This is the best situation. Sometimes we think Bo Nix, he in the worst situation. He's the worst pick. So let's go ahead and analyze it. Who's your best situation for a quarterback who went into the best situation? Not talent of the quarterback. I'm talking about best situation of the team and who went into the worst situation of the team as your quarterback.
Yeah, well, best situation easily for me is Michael Penix. Easily for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think the fact that he doesn't have to just see the field day one necessarily. And again, the Falcons' investment in Kirk Cousins, I think makes it nothing's impossible. Let me be very clear. Nothing's impossible.
Mm-hmm.
If Penix comes in and somehow beats out Kirk Cousins,
that'd be crazy.
We've seen it because Russell Wilson came in and beat out a veteran quarterback, for that starting job. Shout out Matt Flynn. So it's not impossible. It's not impossible. I'm not saying I want to put, that on the young man. Obviously, he's a rookie and, the expectation is going to be a rookie. That said, but I think he went to the best situation. And the worst situation, sad to say, is, Drake May.
It's funny you say that. Funny you say that.
But it's not because they're not building something. It's just because I think as an organization and as a fan base, the Patriots have to understand where they are right now. They are rebuilding. Really almost from scratch.
Yeah.
Particularly on the offensive side of the ball. We know they had a really good defense, but offensively you're rebuilding. And again, I don't think he should see the field this year because you are rebuilding. The important thing for them is to continue to add the pieces and to be patient in this process. So I'm just saying in terms of how they're currently built is the worst situation. I'm not saying it's going to stay that way. Because obviously, I think when you draft a guy number 3 overall, you're saying, "Hey, we're going to invest. We are going to build, to make sure this guy's successful." But it is not the greatest situation. They did draft a receiver in the second round, Jalen Pope from Washington, who's really good young talent. So you can see he made their starting, saying, "Hey, we got to make sure we got weapons out here for." Our future quarterback. So, but in terms of currently, I'm saying,
because things could change later in the draft too, depends on people draft. But we just talking about today, April 26th. For me, Sean, I think best situation has to go Caleb Williams. I think what they add. I mean, obviously that's still like the basic and kind of obvious answer. I could give you another one too, but I'm gonna go. I think Caleb Williams, they completely retooled and built that team around a young quarterback. You coming into a great situation. They improving the line. You got a running back. You got 3 receivers. You got 3 receivers that can give you 3 different type of things. You got one who can take the top off. You got one who a great possession receiver. You got a young receiver who can get you plays too. So I think you got everything you kind of need. But if I wasn't gonna go there, best situation, I definitely gotta go JJ McCarthy. Once again, you go to a situation with the best wide receiver in football, you can't necessarily complain. And the division is kind of like light too, so you can come in and make a little bit of noise where they got an actual chance to do something.
Yeah. I would say to JJ McCarthy point, I don't know if he's going to play from day one.
And there's a possibility. I agree with that. It's a possibility.
So that's the other part too. Is he going to play from day one?
And for me, the worst situation, I thought you was probably going to go like Bo Nix or something, but I actually agree. I had Drake May. I 100% agree. I think Drake May is going into the worst situation out of every other quarterback. You know, probably him and Bo Nix as a team maybe is like top 2 at that situation at quarterback, but definitely a Patriots. If I ask anybody, unless you like a diehard Patriots fan, name me 2 receivers on their team right now, you probably couldn't tell me. You know, and they don't really necessarily have no playmakers, and they are rebuilding. They are starting over. So I don't necessarily know, like you said, if you should play Drake May. You don't want the fan base to lose confidence in him early, like they did with Mac Jones. You don't want him to lose his confidence early because it's not necessarily a bad situation. And learn from either like the Chicago Bears, where Justin Fields. Everybody believes Justin Fields is a great talent, but in a bad situation, is you really going to be able to show your talent? So it might be worth it just sit him. You know, if somebody get hurt and he has to play, then you just throw him to the fire. But I think also because the situation is so bad in New England, I am 100% on board with you. I think you need to sit him out a year because he's going into the worst situation.
Yeah, and I would say, you know, in terms of Bo Nix and the Broncos, you know, they got a really good stud receiver in Cortland Sutton.
Yes.
I mean, obviously they got a really good running back in Javonte Williams. So they're not without weapons in Denver. My assessment is more about him.
Okay.
And again, the decision making of that organization to, you know, take an $85 million cap hit to move on from Russell Wilson to bring in Bo Nix.
I would have just kept Russell Wilson. I probably would have let Russell Wilson go after this year because it probably would have been as massive as it would have been. I would have probably just kept him one more year. But, you know, Sean Payton wanted to do what he wanted to do. Yeah. A lot of safety concerns have been going on in the NFL. You know, that's why they changed the tackle rule. But the NFL also confuses me sometimes because, they say we care about the player safety. Let's change the rule of tackling. But, let's add one more game to the regular season, though. You know, so it's always a double-edged sword back with these guys. But what another solution that they have for player safety is – the NFL is going to allow players to wear the guardian caps in game. I mean, for the purpose of what you're trying to do, I guess, okay, cool. But I don't know, is the guardian cap really going to be that much more safer than what you is in game? And do you think players would really just sit and wear it in game? Sean?
I'm gonna be really curious how many players actually wear it in a game, because I'm just gonna be really curious to see how many players actually wear it in the game.
Do you put the logo on the Guardian cap too now since it's a game?
I don't think so. I think it's as long as the Guardian cap is the color of the helmet, I don't think it's going to be a need to necessarily put the logo on there. But I will say, it's again, like you say, it's talking out both sides of your mouth. On one hand, you say we're going to allow you to do this, but also look, we got to add this 18th game. We need to add this. It's revenue. So, I'm really curious to see how that's going to play out. I would think maybe more offensive linemen may wear it potentially, but even in, because they've outlawed the head slap, you can't do the helmet slap. Right. I don't even know if they'll do it. So I'm gonna be very curious how many people actually wear it in the game. Also, what are the rules? Or do you have to, if you wear it, do you have to wear it the whole game? Can you wear it in certain situations? So, for example, if you're in goal line, and that that's a very much a collision play in goal line, can the guys put it on, going in the goal line, or you have to wear it the entire game? So that's what I'm curious to see what the rules are going to be around wearing it.
Yeah, I'm confused. I'm curious about the rules around it too, of wearing the old Guardian cap. And then also, like you said, a double-edged sword, because Roger Goodell was on the Pat McAfee show and they talked about this. And I have a very strong take for Roger Goodell to say this, the commissioner. So he said 18-game regular season isn't unreasonable, which is strike one is crazy to say. And then two, he said the preseason doesn't matter. I want to extinct the preseason as a whole. And if you want to go back, look into the archive and go watch some old RTOFD episodes that we talked about this, stop saying the preseason doesn't matter, because a lot of guys got jobs and became stars because of what they did in the preseason. The preseason is not for your stars. The preseason is for them late gems and backups, those 5th, 6th, 7th round picks that can get actual time on the field, and you can realize, like, oh, snap, we might have found something. But if you get rid of the preseason, you're not going to see that, because they're not going to get that time on the field to see that. So you're going to tell me you're going to draft, do workouts, then cut your roster down instantly, and then just go into the season to play. No, I think the preseason has its purposes. The preseason has its purposes. Oh, what you say, Sean? Let me see. The preseason has its purposes. Yeah. And I don't understand why this I'm about to play that. We're gonna talk about that. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I had to see it. I ain't even hear it, but we definitely have to throw that in there when we go around to the Lakers talk. Definitely. But yeah, and then saying an 18-game regular season and reason is very unreasonable. That's a whole extra game on the player's body. It's like, is we gonna do 2 bye weeks? You gotta do 2 bye weeks then. So, and if you do 2 bye weeks and it's still at the same point of where you at with the same number of games being played, you just add an extra date on the schedule. I think it doesn't serve the purpose. I really don't like the 17-game thing. I think it should have stayed at 16. I think 16 was a reasonable number. It made more sense. You do your bye week at like the halfway point of 8, because now it's like if you do 9, right, you still at the same amount of games, because you got to add an extra bye week or something. Like, no. So I totally disagree with Roger Goodell. This is the point of what the NFL does. They tell you one thing and they put just like the politics. They do one thing to distract you, and then put their true intentions under it while they doing the stuff to distract you. Oh yeah, player safety, Guardian caps. Yeah, 18 games right at the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, I always encourage people to remember who Roger Goodell works for. He works for the 20 or the 31 owners, right? So he's doing what they want him to do, which is go out and be their whipping boy in public for their nonsense.
Yep.
They want the 18-game regular season because of the additional revenue.
Yep.
That's all it's about. It's always been about money. It's going to continue to be about money. They want the additional revenue. That is the bottom line for the NFL, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is this whole idea of eliminating the preseason. Well, let's think about some guys who, without the preseason, don't get the chance on a regular season roster potentially. Someone like Victor Cruz.
Shout out Victor Cruz.
Right. This idea that, hey, we don't need the preseason. I can understand it, if you want to shorten the preseason. If you want to say, hey, we'll just play 2 preseason games. But if we just say we're not playing any preseason games,
it's crazy.
I think it does a disservice to those guys who are trying to fight to make the 53, right? You go into camp with 90 guys, you're trying to fight to make the 53. If you're one of the a 37 who's trying not to be cut, it's not even just what you're showing in practice, it's what you're showing in the games. So I think that does a disservice to those guys, those guys who are really truly, fighting to be in the NFL and have an NFL career. Now, again, I think there's other ways. If you say we're going to eliminate the preseason, there's other ways to handle it. Do you create a partnership with the UFL where, it becomes a feeder system for the NFL? So guys are actually getting a chance to show on game tape what they can do, in a real live game that may translate to the NFL from the UFL. Right. If that's your intention, then maybe that's something to consider. But I don't think the NFL is nearly that forward thinking.
No. They just being greedy. So they want they just being greedy at the next game, which they don't need to be.
Yeah, and then also a part of the 18-game regular season means that you would push the Super Bowl when the Super Bowl happens. They're talking about potentially pushing the Super Bowl to happen on President's Day weekend. Do you know what other event, SB, generally happens on President's Day weekend?
What?
NBA All-Star weekend is generally around President's Day weekend.
So wait. Hit me out. So that means the owners are they got beef with the NBA, obviously. So they finna step on Christmas, which is normally the NBA time. Now they finna step on the NBA All-Star break.
If you move the Super Bowl to President's Day weekend, and the logic for the NFL is it's a day off, it's a holiday that Monday. Well, everybody ain't off on President's Day. Some people don't even recognize President's Day.
People don't at all.
So if you take that Monday of the Super Bowl off, you're taking it off because it's something you want to take off. Because again, it's a federal holiday, but it doesn't mean that every company in the United States celebrates it or recognizes it. So that's stupid, number one. Number two, you're stepping on the NBA All-Star weekend. And again, that weekend is generally right after the Super Bowl on President's Day weekend, generally speaking.
Yeah.
So, I just think it's the NFL doesn't care about the NBA. They don't want to have a partnership with the NBA. They don't say, hey, let's make sure we don't step on their scheduling, just like they try to step on our scheduling, for big events. But they don't care. For them, it's all about we the NFL, we the big dogs, and we do what we want, and y'all get behind.
That's disrespectful. I wouldn't take that, man. You gotta get that back.
Yeah, but Adam Silver ain't gonna go over to the NFL offices and burn them down.
No,
but that's not his MO.
No, he ain't gonna move like that.
Yeah, now Frank Lucas was the CEO or the NBA commissioner. The NFL office is getting burned down.
He said it's getting burned down. He said everything getting burned down. We shut it down.
Yeah,
we shut it down.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the next story. Ezekiel Elliott is expected to return to the Dallas Cowboys. W move or not?
No.
Get him back for the cheap.
Don't matter.
Why not?
The tread of them tires is worn.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The
tread on the tires is worn. It's worn.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
But I think look, man, for what you can get him for, Ezekiel Elliott, goal line running back. It's the Cowboys that are gonna do that before because they needed that guy though that can just run hard through the middle, straight down through the hole type of guy. They needed that guy. They missed it that last year.
Yeah, maybe so. But yeah, it don't move.
It don't move. Yeah, it did a little something.
Not really.
All right. Big money moves. Now, since we was talking about that, no wonder why Mr. Adam Silver is getting in trouble from Mr. Roger Goodell because the NBA is possibly closing in on an Amazon deal worth A lot of money.
Yes.
What are we talking out here? Like, if the NBA was to pull this off with Amazon, what you thinking? Well, Amazon was to pull this off, honestly.
Yeah, so you're talking about probably a 10-year deal. Certainly worth a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just worth a lot of money to Amazon. And again, for Amazon, it's another way for them to boost their Prime memberships because, again, you won't be able to watch the games without Prime. What I would be curious, and what I've been screaming for the longest, is if you acquire broadcast rights, and again, I'm assuming this means that they're going to try to have their own the NBA ticket or the NBA League Pass deal. Make sure you have a deal in place where if you want to buy a team League Pass, you can buy a team's League Pass.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I think that's like super important. If you are a Laker fan who lives in Virginia, you should be able to purchase that team's
League Pass. I think I like that too, though. You could just, because a lot of people don't want to watch it. I want League Pass to watch the Atlanta Hawks. I don't want to see the Atlanta Hawks. Luckily, my team is local that I rock with.
Your team is local. So, so that's a big thing to me is, make sure that you offer that. But also I think it begs the question too, does this mean that we're not going to see games on or as many games on ESPN or in the future? Or is this going to be in addition to, because I think Turner's locked in. Like Turner, they're locked in. They're gonna
they got their game.
But what does it mean for ESPN long term in terms of their broadcast rights? So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, imagine just no basketball on ESPN. What we doing?
But I mean, there was a day where we didn't have basketball on ESPN. I mean, it's been a while, but there was a time where there was no basketball on ESPN. It was literally, in the 80s it was CBS, in the 90s it was NBC. So it only went to ESPN really more in the 2000s. It's not impossible. But I also think, and I'm not trying to make fun of it, Turner, for me, does a better job of broadcasting NBA games than ESPN does.
Yeah, 100%. TNT does a great job with broadcasting.
And that's even with Reggie Miller calling games. So nothing against Reggie Miller, like him, but yeah. So, but in terms of just inside the NBA and also obviously, the Kevin Harlans of the world who call games and who are some of the best play-by-play people, I think Turner's they're superior to ESPN. And inside the NBA, in my opinion, is they've been trying to do the Turner thing. They can't do it. They don't do it right. They appreciate it, David. Yeah. It's I think it's what's going to happen with ESPN in this if this happens. That's what I'm going to be curious to see.
Yeah, and I'm gonna definitely wonder off that too. I would definitely wonder. Now for the moment of the coup de grace, where they want to know, did the Joker and the Nuggets end LeBron and the Lakers? Honestly, Sean, they gave up. They 100% gave up. Then also it's even crazier because you just sent me something from the Draymond Green podcast. Shout out to the Draymond Green podcast. Let's see what Draymond Green had to say. Man, don't react to this live, so I don't know what he said.
I was very disappointed in AD's statement after the game. When AD came out after game 2 and said, sometimes we don't know what we're doing on the defensive side of the ball or the offensive side of the ball. I was disappointed in that. And the reason I was disappointed in that, got a lot of love and respect for AD. Lot of love and respect. Go back to being drafted together, both being clutch athletes. I'm always tell it like it is, tell it how I see it. And I was just a little disappointed in that statement. Number one, Darvin Ham was a player. Darvin Ham is a black man And to just throw him under the bus like that, I didn't like. I didn't appreciate it. I didn't respect it. I could be a little biased because Darvin Ham is my OG, Saginaw, Michigan. So I could be a little biased. I was very disappointed in AD's statement after the game. When AD came out after game 2 and said, sometimes we don't know what we're doing on the defensive side of the ball or the offensive side.
Okay. I let the beginning play a little bit because I missed a little bit of the beginning trying to fix my sound settings. But, okay. Sean, I'll let you take the floor first on this take of what Draymond Green had to say, but this is part of the crash out. This is part of the crash out. Everybody, D-Lo's eating chocolate on the side. AD blaming the coach. AD not getting back on defense. LeBron ain't been getting back on defense in years. He looking old. LeBron missed a shot, easy shot. They blaming everybody else. Defensive mishaps happen. They blaming everybody else. Darvin Ham does things true where his rotations are terrible. Still trying to play small ball against a team that's big. You could blame the Lakers organization by not actually tooling his roster. With big man knowing that you got to play the Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets, mainly the Denver Nuggets. Why do you got big bodies to rotate? Last time you beat this team, you had 3 different big bodies to rotate on Jokic. Also, even with LeBron James, you cry for this player to be on your team. They get all that, drop all the assets, then you don't have nothing else to lose. Also, AD, LeBron, neither one of y'all taking a pay cut to get more talent on this roster because this is not a good team. It's not. They gas it up more because they look just because you put a gold medal in and say first place is not going to change that piece of turd from being a piece of turd. It's still trash and it's doo doo. Roses really smell like boo boo. Just because you paint doo doo gold, it ain't gonna be gold. It's still gonna be poop. It's just gonna be a little bit shiny if that stench is still gonna be there, Sean. What is just your reaction to the Draymond take? And then do you feel that the Lakers has gave up? And did Jokic end the career of LeBron and the Lakers?
So let me respond to the Draymond thing first. Guys have been frustrated with coaches before.
Yes.
Particularly in a series where you're getting manhandled.
Yes, they are.
The problem I had with AD was he didn't keep it in-house. And I think that is the problem Draymond is speaking to that he didn't really say in the video.
Yeah.
You got to keep that in-house. If you, as a superstar and as a leader of a team or one of the leaders on the team, have an issue with the head coach, you don't say that in the media, and you don't say that, yes, we understand your frustration. We get it. Y'all are getting manhandled.
More than manhandled.
But keep it in-house.
Yeah.
It's what did Big Mama say in Soul Food? With this together, we can strike a mighty blow. When you take it outside, you ain't got a fist no more. You just an open hand waiting to break a finger. So at the end of the day, keep it in-house. That's the first thing. The second thing, when you talk about the Lakers, and I know we talk about the Lakers because they're the Lakers and they drive. What were people expecting? When I heard people say, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be a 6 or 7 game series," I was like, "In what world?" When we made our predictions with True, with shout out True the King.
Shout out True for coming on the show.
We made our predictions last week, playoff predictions last week with True. And we all said how we thought the series was gonna go. I said Nuggets in 5, and that's me being nice.
I was nice. I told you it's sweet coming.
Yeah, you said sweet. I said Nuggets in 5, and that's me being nice. Yeah. So I think 2 things people have to realize. Number one, the Lakers roster has been flawed really for 2 years. And if you really want to take it back, it's been flawed for 3 years.
Honestly.
For 3 years. But also the reason why the roster's flawed is because the best players don't always play up to the best player potential. What I mean by that is Anthony Davis in the last 2 fourth quarters has 3 points total.
And he been killing the whole game, and he just don't get the ball.
Right.
Or don't show up. Both.
Yeah. Or don't demand it. Why can't you say, as if you that guy, get me the freaking ball?
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Give me the ball.
Mm-hmm.
We've not once said Joker didn't show up in the fourth quarter.
Nope.
Jamal Murray has struggled shooting this entire series, but he's shown up in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm. And then I don't want to hear nobody come in the chat or your Lakers stands like, oh man, you see how they blitzing AD and like double teaming them and all that. Darvin Ham or even LeBron James, who I said has the highest basketball IQ, find a way to get him the ball in better positions. So if you know the double come and get AD in his spots where he like the ball, where he can do a quick catch, make his move, go. You got to find better ways to get him the ball. I know it's harder because everybody on the team breaking, but you got to find a way to get him the ball.
Which is the other point. Which is the other point. This team has had the flaw of no shooting all season.
Yep.
They've had the flaw of no shooting all season, right? Mm-hmm. And if we want to be real, it starts with LeBron and AD. Now, I know LeBron shot career high 40% this season. Great. Wonderful.
Which was nice.
Yeah, that's nice. Cool. But this is the time where that matters. Mm-hmm. I can promise you LeBron ain't shooting 40% from 3 in this series.
I'm going to look it up, but I doubt it. He might, though, but I doubt it. He might.
But also, and that's the other point, too, SB, and I think this is where the reality of people focus on the name and they don't focus on the game. Mm-hmm. And I said this about LeBron. I have all the respect in the world for LeBron James. We understand what he has done over the last 21 years. But this is not the point in his career where he can physically and mentally impose his will on a game and win like he could in the past.
Yeah, no.
Those days are done, especially against a superior team. And a player who, while athletically doesn't do it like LeBron, mentally does it like LeBron and Joker.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of his basketball IQ, Joker is right there.
Yeah.
So, what were they expecting?
I don't know what they was. What they were expecting with no true big man to guard. That's what I was thinking too.
Well, and again, I think part of the reason why and again is where there has to be some honest conversation, is you play another big next to Anthony Davis, right?
Which he likes.
Yes, which slides LeBron to the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Michael Porter Jr. at this point, athletically, can get by LeBron.
Yeah.
Which is why you play LeBron at the 4. He can deal with the Aaron Gordons of the world. He don't have to worry. But Michael Porter Jr. can get by LeBron, even with his limitations because of his long-term back issues.
And so LeBron shooting 41 for 3 too, by the way.
Okay, all right, cool. So at the end of the day, like the roster construction matters, the coaching matters. There's a lot of people. The guys just playing out, not showing up matters, right? You're the 7th seed. You're the 7th seed for a reason. You ain't that. You ain't been that in 3 years.
Yeah, no, he ain't. And people got to realize that impact ain't the same, and it's a whole new league. And it's a younger man's game, and these younger players, because now what you going to do when you run into a player who's just as smart, but his stats are more impactful? What you going to do? You run that young player who's more athletic and get up and down the floor. I done heard players say that all the time, and then we as fans love the players that we love so much, but people got to realize this is a young man game. The people and Lakers fans are part of the product of fans crashing out, Sean, because I see all these Lakers people crying about D-Lo and everybody else on this team. You got a bunch of minimum guys on this team, and LeBron and AD, LeBron is 40, and AD's on the back end, finna start being on the back end of his career. Should be at the top, you know what I'm saying, at the top tier, honestly. But AD 250. Same thing with Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns. The older guy, look, you going off this nostalgia, y'all favorite play because you love these guys. Basketball has always been a young man's game. Young man's game all the time. And look at the cycle of everything that goes on in basketball all the time. Your favorite players at some point in time gonna steep down and they're not gonna hit the same. Jordan did it to Bird and Magic. Jordan got up out of there. Then, but this Shaq, Kobe and Duncan and them boys came. And after Kobe and Duncan, then LeBron and them came. Then LeBron, KD, Steph and them came. Then Steph and them shut them down. Now we got these dudes. Now we got Jokic. It happens, bro. Y'all crashing out and not looking at the reality. Y'all just think y'all just care because we the Lakers. We just supposed to be this good. No, you a 7th seed for a reason. Oh, we got KD. We supposed to be this good. You are at the bottom of at your conference for a reason. It's not the same no more. It's new guys who gonna come in and take over this league. And sometime with y'all fandom, y'all just don't look at the reality of the fact. The Lakers have not been a good shooting team all this year. What should have changed y'all mind in this series? Y'all don't have no big man that can consistently guard Jokic. What's good? What thought in this playoff series gonna change y'all mind? Y'all was 0 and what? How many? What they 0 and what? 11 now? 0 and 10 now?
0-11.
0 and 11 now. 0 and 11 now. You haven't beat this team in like 2 years. What you thought was going to change? Y'all didn't change nothing to impact that. Y'all are sitting here crashing out on the web, blaming everybody but the reality of the fact of the situation. That's all it is. It's as you said, this damaged LeBron all-time standard like those clowns. No. You got to understand that's the title thing, Blue Bowl title. It's just a title thing. It's a title thing. But no, he ended the Lakers, though. The Lakers are done. The Lakers are done. It's time to break this team up. It's nothing they can do. Nothing hurts LeBron's legacy. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing that's going to hurt him. He's good. Top 3 at minimum greatest player of all time. It's nothing go, no, this is not going to hurt his legacy. Trust me. And then one thing, Sean, I'm going to let you go. One thing is everything about LeBron is always about legacy. But that's the point where I say everybody be crashing out because y'all just not looking at the reality of the situation. Y'all in y'all phantom of the situation, worry about LeBron legacy, worry about the Lakers legacy because we is good. No, just look at the reality of the situation. LeBron it's HELL. He don't impact the game the same anymore. It's not the same LeBron. This Lakers team is not good. Stop looking at the banners up top from the past. This is not that type of team. And they are 7th seed for a reason. Go ahead, Sean.
No, I was going to say something real quick. Just real quick. 2 things. One, Darvin Ham, Byron Scott, Doug Collins. You know what these guys all have in common? These guys all coach an aging superstar who still wants things done around them. Darvin Ham coaching LeBron, Byron Scott coaching Kobe, Doug Collins coaching Jordan in Washington.
All of them crashed out.
Now, let me flip it. Pat Riley, Greg Popovich coached aging superstars who were okay with things not necessarily being built around them or going through them.
Won championships.
Kareem, Tim
Championship.
So I think that's the other reality that people are not talking about enough. And this ain't, again, no slight to LeBron. This is just the reality. He is the oldest player in the league. He's an aging superstar. And the difficulty of trying to still acquiesce and build things through him and around him at this point is it's not really fair, but it's also, and again, I use Pat Riley as an example. Pat Riley in 1986, at the end of the season, went to Kareem and said, "We have to shift. We have to go through Magic now. It's our time." Kareem was 39. Still coming off a very good year. Lakers lost in the Western Conference Finals to Houston. He goes to Kareem and says, "We got to build it. We got to go through Magic." Kareem says, "Okay." He's good with that. They go through Magic the next year. Magic becomes the MVP. Lakers win the title. Right? It's that thing. But Pat Riley having the cachet to do it, and Kareem being okay with it. Tim Duncan, same thing with Greg Popovich.
Darvin Ham got the cachet.
You don't have the cachet. So I've always said the hardest thing to coach is the aging superstar who's not always willing to fully recognize and fully embrace, here's where I am, and here's what the team needs from me at this point for us to be successful. And I fully support whoever our coach is. If they want to shift in a different direction, I'm okay with that. So that's the other reality. And again, my belief is next season is LeBron's last season. I think he's done after next season.
Yeah, I don't want to see them. I'm a fan of LeBron. I like them, respect him. Like I watched this game from start to finish. Honestly, I think it's. I don't want to see no more after 1 year. Like honestly, if Bronny wasn't in the equation, I would have said leave this year. After this year is over with, just go ahead, leave on your high horse. And we could give us that fantasy of like LeBron's still here. LeBron might could don't go out on the bad end, trying to do too much, try to chase the ring. Play this next year with your son, because it's gonna happen, and then ride off in a blaze of glory. I don't want to see LeBron no more after this year too.
Yeah,
that's just it. The situation with me. And I think Sean, you brought a great point up with that. But also, fans don't want to accept that too. That LeBron is not Bron. They just go, "Oh yeah, he the GOAT. Year 21, he's still going crazy. This, and that." Like, no, bro. And look, and that's why. And I always say this: Jordan fans, LeBron fans, y'all are one and the same. Because I vividly remember Magic. I live in a basketball family household from my grandpa. I know how people was talking around the city and people when Jordan was in playing with the Wizards. Oh yeah, the GOAT still got it, and he wasn't. It wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. Trust me, it wasn't like that. So y'all gotta let it go too. LeBron gotta take that back seat and go ahead, hang it up, my boy, hang it up.
Yeah, salute Gideon in the chat as well.
Salute G Money. Salute G Money. Yeah, Sean, episode 30. I said 30. Whoa, I am wild, and I'm 40 points off. Episode 70, Sean. Do you got anything in mind for the number 70?
Just salute to the 70-point games this season from Luka, from Joel Embiid had a 70-point game this season. I don't think anybody else had a 70-point game this season.
Yeah, shout out to the 70-point.
Yeah,
70-point game, guys. I agree with you on that one. Shout out to the 70-point game, guys. Appreciate you guys watching it. It was another great episode of Real Takes Over Fake Debates. We will see you guys on Monday. Birthday recap from SB, birthday Sunday. So appreciate everybody with the birthday wishes in the chat. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate the love. Make sure you guys like. Make sure you guys share. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We have more things coming soon for you guys, especially during this summertime. So keep rocking with us. Keep vibing with us. And we will see you guys on to the next one, man. They getting real chippy over here in this Mavericks versus the Clippers game. They real life. They don't like each other.
Playoffs.
Man, they don't like each other, man. I'm looking at it like, man, they wild.
You better put a body on Derek Lively. I know that.
Yeah. They're gonna have to. But salute everybody, peace, and we on to the next one.
Rucker Man.